So good morning students. Today we are going to revise about the definitions of literary devices. Okay. So literary devices mainly, what are the different literary devices that we have revised yesterday? First is personification. First we will revise about personification. What is this? Huh? MJ? Okay, we will revise. Don't worry. We will go through it. Okay. First is personification. What is personification? When living qualities are given to, yes, our qualities are given to non-living things or inanimate things. Non-living or inanimate means which are non-living or inanimate, same meaning. This is called as, for example, the sun smiles down silently on the people. So here, what is this? The sun smiles. Do you think that smile is the quality of sun? Whether you think that the sun will be able to smile? No. So it means, but the poet has given this quality to sun, right? So what it means that this is human-like quality. This is quality of human beings which is given to sun, okay? Or the sun shines bitterly on the people, over the people. Again, here bitterly means this is again the quality of human beings. It means here, see, the change of words has changed the mood also of the poem. Okay, here smiles means it is having a soothing effect. Meaning is this. But when it is bitterly, it shines down. Bitterly means it is producing harsh effect upon the people. So with the use of words, the meaning is also changed. Moreover here, the living quality, that is of human-like quality, it is given to sun, which is a non-living thing. Okay, so this is called as personification. Right? Next we are having repetition. So what is repetition? Repetition means repeating sounds. Repeating sounds. It can be repeating sounds or words or phrases. No, no. I will just discuss alliteration. Repeating sounds, words or phrases. When they are repeated again and again. In your poem Wind. Wind poem mein what is there? We have crumbling doors, crumbling rafters. Okay? Crumbling doors, crumbling rafters. Okay? Right? Crumbling windows, crumbling lives. Crumbling lives. So here what is there that it means this word is repeated again and again. Okay, so this is an example of repetition, right? It means to produce a rhythmic effect, to produce a rhythm to the poem. This is called as repetition. Okay. Next, onomatopoeia. That means when a particular sound is related or it is attached to a particular thing, it can be living or non-living. Okay. For example, hiss. When I speak the sound hiss, it is related to what? Snake. Knock on the door. Knock. It means it is mainly related to knock on the door. It is like this knock. Okay, purring of a cat. It is related to cat. So these are the examples of onomatopoeia. In your poem, Rain on the Roof, the word is pitter patter. Pitter patter. Okay. No, this is all again onomatopoeia. It is related with rain. Huh? Yes, yes. This can also be an example of alliteration. Okay. Next, afterwards, I'm going to discuss about alliteration. Pitter patter, when this pitter patter, if it is used once in a poem, then it is not a repetition. If it is used again and again in the next consecutive paragraphs, then it will be a repetition. It is used again and again, then again. But suppose I have given you one stanza, their pitter patter occurs once only. How you can say that it is a repetition? Because in the paragraph it is just once. If I talk about the entire poem, then you can say. This is what you are asking, repetition. Crumbling word is used again and again. In the poem, the tree, what is repeated again and again? When the root is to be pulled out, tree is to be pulled out. It pulled out is used again and again in the poem twice or thrice. So this is an example of repetition. Alliteration. Alliteration. When a vowel sound or a consonant sound is repeated in a line or in consecutive words. Or in consecutive words, then it is called as alliteration. So many examples. Like you people said yesterday, ma'am, wanted wear. WW, what is W? It is a consonant. Okay, if a consonant sound is repeated, it is again called as consonance. But if a vowel sound is repeated, it will be called as assonance. So it means alliteration is of two types, consonance and assonance. Okay, right? If you have written alliteration, then it's fine. If you have written consonance, then again it is fine. If you have written assonance, then again it is fine. Consonance means when consonant sound is repeated. When, okay, for example, honest, one word नहीं ना होगा, consecutive उसके होगा. For example, Walt Whitman's poems. Again, here in this, it is WW is repeated. He is repetition of H and H. Okay, there is repetition of H and H. Okay, so next is transferred epithet. We have to do. Okay, what is transferred epithet? I told you yesterday that it is an adjective. Okay. Transferred epithet. Means it's an adjective. It's an adjective or an adverb used with the noun. Simplest definition for your level. Used with the noun, but it is not referring It is not referring to the noun with which it is used. But it is not referring to that noun with which it is used. Okay? How? See the example. Pursuing stick. Here, this is pursuing adjective used with the noun stick. Okay? But this pursuing, it is not referring to stick. Stick is not pursuing. But what is pursuing? What means pursuing is what? It is referring to snake. It means it is used with stick, but it is not referring to stick. It is referring to snake. Okay? Pursuing stick. Then another example is from the poem No Men Are Foreign, Peaceful Harvest. Why? Again, this is transferred epithet. Okay? Peaceful harvest, because peaceful is an adjective used with harvest. But here, this peaceful, it is not referring to harvest. It is referring to peaceful condition, peaceful life of the people. It means it is used with harvest, but it is not referring to this harvest. Okay? It is referring to something else. Right? So, this is transferred. This is the reason why the name is transferred. Role is transferred. With which it is used, it is not referring to that. It is referring to something else with which it is not used. Okay. Next is refrain. One example in your syllabus. Okay. In the poem, Rain on the Roof, when I listen to the pitter patter. When I listen to this pitter patter. Okay. Then what is refrain? The line which is repeated again and again in the poem and which encloses and encompasses the main meaning of the poem. So these many literary devices I have discussed with you. Yes, enjambment. Yes. Next is enjambment. Enjambment means when the idea of one line or meaning of one line is rolled onto the next line. Is rolled onto the next line without using any punctuation mark as comma or full stop. Okay, then many examples. For example, that poem Legend of Northland. Okay, in that we have many examples. Let me speak. Huh? As comma and full stop. Okay, on killing a tree, Legend of Northland. Okay, many examples are there. Simile, yes. Metaphor, simile, yes. 1 minute, I am just taking out the example of enjambment from your syllabus. Yes, for example, that in that Legend of Northland, when the lady was saying, my cakes are too small for me. How the line is written, see, my cakes are too small when I eat them myself. Here the one sentence, it is broken into two parts. Okay, but here after this ending of first line, there is no comma, no full stop, and the idea it is rolled onto this next line. So this is what? This is enjambment. This is enjambment. Okay, no comma, no full stop, one idea is rolled onto next line. In enjambment, lines must be given. Next is simile. Simile, comparison is made by using the words like or as. Like or as must be used. Just whenever you see these two words, like or as, it's a simile. For example, thin as a wafer. As is used, how it is thin, it is compared to that of wafer. Okay. Then as black as coal. He is laughing like a clown. For example, I speak the sentence. He is laughing like a clown. Means here comparison is made, like is used. This is what? This is metaphor. Okay? Sorry, this is simile. Okay? Next is metaphor. Metaphor. When comparison here, comparison also here again. Comparison is made. Road access. Road, but their road, yes, metaphorically it is used. Road, for example, road, in the poem Road Not Taken, what road is? It symbolizes the choices in life. Okay, road is compared to choices. So road is metaphorically used there. Okay, without, like or as. No like, no as words are used. Okay, for example, leprous hide in the poem. Which poem that is? The tree? Here what is this? Leprous hide. Leprous hide, what is this? Leprous hide, it is the bark of the tree. Okay, which is compared to that of the skin of the person who is suffering from leprosy, because it is also giving an uneven effect to the skin. Similarly, the bark is also uneven, hard. Here it comparison, just a minute. Bark is compared to skin of a person who is suffering from leprosy, but here it is used any word like or as? No. Why? Comparison है. Bleeding bark. Bleeding bark, what it is compared to? Bleeding bark means to the blood of human beings. This is again what? Metaphor. Blood of human beings. Bleeding. Okay? Bleeding bark, this again is an example of personification. Whether the bark will bleed? No. This is also an example of alliteration, repetition of B and B. Wind? Wind god, yes, wind god. This is again personification. Wind is altogether personified. Throughout the poem, the poet has personified wind. Allusion, yes. Allusion. When some other, you can say character. When a reference is made to some other character. Okay? Reference is made from other book or story. Then it is called as allusion. For example, Saint Peter. Saint Peter is used for, it's a biblical name used from the book Bible. That's why Saint Peter is an example of allusion. Mainly this is one main example in your syllabus. Okay, right? So I don't think so you have any other problem. Albert Einstein. Okay, coming up to Albert Einstein's chapter. 1 minute, please. Let me open it out. So Albert Einstein, it's a story about the famous scientist Albert Einstein, who has given up the theory of relativity and the famous formula that is E is equal to MC square. Yes, 1 minute, let me take the doubt. Nishtha, yes?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, please repeat the definition of transferred epithet.
It's an
Transferred epithet.
adjective or adverb which is used with the noun, but this adjective or adverb which is used, it is not referring to the noun with which it is used, but it is referring to something else. Okay? Got now? Nishtha got? Nishtha got? I take it in this manner now that you have got. Yes, Princey?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Truly
Ma'am,
beautiful.
what is the difference between transferred epithet and metaphor?
Total difference. In transferred epithet, adjective or adverb is there, but in metaphor, comparison is made. In transferred epithet, no such like comparison is made. Okay? Here,
Ma'am, but both are alike.
I
For
got the
example,
point. Why you are saying? Because you are saying here bleeding bark. Okay, bleeding, you think that it is an adjective. But here, of course, this bleeding, if it is used here, it is referring to this bark only, nothing else. Right? This bleeding, it is referring to this bark only, nothing else. That's why it's a metaphor. Okay?
okay. Okay, ma'am.
Now coming up to Truly Beautiful Mind, that is the chapter about Einstein. So when Einstein was born, yes, he was born on 14 March 1879 in the German city of Ulm. Okay? And when he was born, everything was considering him to be abnormal. Even his mother was thinking about him that he is not a normal child because his head was quite big, and moreover, he was not able to speak till the age of 2 years. And when he started speaking, he was repeating everything twice. What was the opinion of his friends? Yes, they used to call him as Brother Boring. Why they used to call him as Brother Boring? Because, yes, he was not interested in the company of the other people, of the other children. He liked his own company. He used to play with his own toys, and he had a great love for mechanical toys. That's why he was called as Brother Boring. So if we talk about his love for mechanical toys, since childhood he has scientific bent of mind. He has quite, you can say, affinity. He has good affinity for mechanical toys. Okay, and for that, when his younger sister, what was the name of the sister? Maja. Okay, Maja. When she was born, he used to call his mother that arms and legs are okay, but where are her wheels? He used to think that this is a toy and who is walking upon wheels also. Then afterwards, when he has grown up, he was admitted to the school. Once his headmaster has called his father, and he told him that he would not be able to succeed in any sphere of life as he is not at all intelligent. Later on, he falsified his teacher also, because he has given the famous theory. He has turned out to be a world scientist. Then afterwards, after completing her education in Switzerland, then he has gone to where? He has went to university in Zurich. Okay, whom he met there? Mileva Maric. Okay, yes, and fell in love with Mileva Maric. Who was Mileva Maric? Actually, she was a Serb. Okay, why he found an ally in Mileva Maric? Because similarity in nature. Because then she was also against the Philistines, right? So the period is over. I have to quit it here. If you have any doubts, students, you can send me a message in the group or on my personal number. For writing skills, I'm sending you the exercises. For grammar, I'm sending you the exercises. I will frame one more exercise today only, and I will send in the groups. And answers I'm also sending back to you. If you have any problem in any answer, you can discuss it with me. Ma'am, why this answer? Okay? So, with that, the class is going to be over. Thank you.